World War III isn't coming, it's already knocking. Right now, tensions between nuclear powers are higher than they've been in decades. Missiles are being tested, borders are being crossed, alliances are cracking under pressure. And while world leaders play their dangerous games, ordinary people exactly like you, are completely unprepared for what comes next. Not because they're stupid, because they're asleep. They think it's someone else's problem, someone else's country, someone else's tragedy. It won't be, and when it arrives, it won't send a warning. The people who survive World War III won't be the strongest or the richest. They'll be the ones who didn't make these 8 mistakes. Let's talk about what those mistakes are. Here's the most dangerous thing about World War III. It won't feel real until it is. Your brain is wired to believe that tomorrow will look like today. That's called normalcy bias. And in a crisis, it is absolutely lethal. When the sirens went off in Ukraine, thousands of people didn't move. They stood at their windows, phones out, filming, because their brain refused to accept that this was actually happening to them, in their city, on their street. The same thing happened in Syria, in Bosnia, in every conflict that ever blindsided a civilian population. Nobody thought it would reach their neighborhood, until it did, and by then, the roads were jammed, the shelves were empty, and the window to escape had already slammed shut. The first mistake isn't a lack of supplies or a lack of skills. It's a lack of belief. You have to accept the uncomfortable truth before anything else matters. It can happen to you. It can happen here. And accepting that fact right now, today, while everything still looks normal, is the single most important survival decision you will ever make. And once you've accepted that truth, the next mistake will try to kill you before you even pack a bag. Cities feel safe. That's the trap. In peacetime, cities are where the food is, where the hospitals are, where everything works. But in war, that all flips. Every single thing that makes a city function, electricity, water, food supply, fuel, depends on a chain of systems that breaks under pressure almost immediately. And when those systems break, millions of people are suddenly competing for the same shrinking resources in the same shrinking space. That's not a city anymore. That's a pressure cooker. History is brutal on this point. In Sarajevo, citizens who waited too long found themselves trapped inside a siege that lasted nearly 4 years. In Aleppo, the people who left early survived. The people who waited for things to calm down got swallowed by the chaos. The exit window in a major conflict is not weeks. It's days, sometimes hours. And it doesn't announce itself. One morning the roads are clear. The next morning they're gridlocked with panicking crowds and empty fuel stations. If you're still debating whether to leave when that moment comes, you've already waited too long. Get out early, get out quietly, or don't get out at all. So you leave the city. Smart move. You reach for your phone to pull up the route. And that's where the third mistake is waiting for you. Your phone is not a survival tool. It's a comfort device dressed up as one. And in a real conflict, it will fail you at the exact moment you need it most. Modern warfare doesn't just target soldiers and buildings. It targets infrastructure. Power grids go down. Cell towers get destroyed or overloaded. Internet cables get cut. GPS signals get jammed. And just like that small glowing rectangle in your pocket becomes a useless slab of glass. But here's the real danger. Most people today cannot navigate without GPS, cannot make decisions without Googling first, cannot stay calm without the constant feed of information their phone provides. Take that away and they freeze. They stand in the middle of a collapsing city waiting for a signal bar to appear, waiting for someone online to tell them what to do. That hesitation costs lives. Before any crisis hits, learn to read a physical map. Write down emergency contacts by hand. Own a battery-powered or hand-crank radio. Know your route without Google Maps. Your phone might survive the first day. It will not survive the war. And neither will you if it's the only tool you're depending on. Now let's talk about what you packed before you left. Because this is where most people fail spectacularly. When panic hits, people go shopping. And they buy completely the wrong things. Walk into any store in the first 24 hours of a crisis and you'll see people loading carts with chips, soda, frozen meals, and comfort food. Things that make them feel normal. Things that make them feel in control. What you won't see them grabbing is the stuff that actually keeps a human being alive under pressure. Water. Clean, stored, reliable water. Most people have maybe a day's worth in their home without running taps. That's it. After water comes calories. Not tasty calories. Survival calories. Rice, lentils, canned beans, peanut butter, oats. Dense, cheap, shelf-stable food that fuels your body when there's no grocery store left to visit. Then medicine. Basic antibiotics, pain relievers, wound care supplies, any prescription medication your family depends on. Then warmth, blankets, warm clothing, fire-starting tools. These four things, water, calories, medicine, warmth, are what separate the people who make it from the people who don't. Nobody survives on a cart full of snacks and a dead phone charger. Stop buying for comfort. Start buying for survival. The boring supplies are the ones that will still be working for you 3 weeks in when everything else has run out. You've left the city. You have the right supplies. But now you're not alone. And that's where the fifth mistake quietly moves in. In normal life, trusting people is a virtue. In a war zone, it can be a death sentence. This isn't cynicism. This is history. When resources dry up and survival instincts kick in, people change. Good neighbors become desperate strangers. Friendly faces become calculated liars. Not everyone, but enough. And the problem is you won't always be able to tell the difference until it's too late. The person who knocks on your door asking for food might genuinely need help. Or they might be checking how much you have and whether you're alone. Desperate people do desperate things. That's not a judgment. That's just what prolonged fear and hunger does to human behavior. Build your trusted circle before the crisis hits. Keep your supplies quiet. Don't broadcast what you have, where you're going, or how prepared you are. Help where you can but stay alert. And trust your instincts. If something feels wrong about a person or a situation, it probably is. Your tribe keeps you alive. The wrong people get you killed. And speaking of getting killed, the sixth mistake is one that feels harmless right up until the moment it isn't. In a conflict zone, the people who survive are the people nobody notices. Invisibility is not cowardice. It is strategy. The moment you make yourself visible, through noise, through light, through smoke, through anything, you become a target. Not necessarily for soldiers. For everyone. Desperate people move toward resources. If your generator is humming loudly in a silent neighborhood, if your windows are glowing at 2 a.m. when every other house is dark, if your chimney is smoking while everyone else is freezing, you are sending a signal. You have something. Come take it. This applies online too. People make the fatal mistake of posting their location, their supplies, their escape route on social media during a crisis, thinking they're updating their friends, actually broadcasting their position to everyone. Turn that instinct off completely. Keep your lights low. Keep your noise down. Cook during daylight when smoke blends into the sky. Move quietly. Speak quietly. Look like you have nothing. Act like you're going nowhere. Be completely forgettable. Because in a war zone, the people who get noticed are the people who get targeted. And the people who stay invisible are the ones still breathing when it's over. You've stayed invisible. You've stayed safe. But then one morning you wake up with a small cut on your hand that looks a little red around the edges. And that's where the seventh mistake begins. Quietly, painlessly, and lethally. In peacetime, a cut finger is a minor inconvenience. In a war zone with no functioning hospitals and no pharmacy on the corner, that same cut finger can kill you within a week. Infection doesn't care about your survival plan. If you ignore a wound, it gets infected. If it gets infected and goes untreated, it spreads. And without antibiotics, what starts as a small scratch can turn into a full-body infection that shuts your organs down. This is exactly how people died for most of human history before modern medicine existed. And in a prolonged conflict, modern medicine disappears fast. Hospitals get bombed or overwhelmed. Pharmacies get looted in the first 48 hours. So you become your own medic. Build a basic medical kit right now. Antiseptic, bandages, antibiotics, pain relievers, a tourniquet. Learn how to clean and close a wound. Learn the signs of infection. Stock any prescription medication your family needs for at least 3 months. And treat sanitation like your life depends on it. Because in survival mode, it absolutely does. But here's the thing. You can do all of that perfectly, every single step, and still lose. Because the eighth mistake, the last one on this list and the most lethal of all, has nothing to do with supplies or strategy. It lives entirely inside your head. Mental collapse kills faster than bullets. And it doesn't arrive loudly. It creeps in quietly. It looks like exhaustion. It looks like giving up just for today. It looks like stopping to rest and never starting again. In every major conflict ever studied, the people who made it were not always the strongest or the best prepared. They were the ones who refused to stop. Viktor Frankl survived Nazi concentration camps not because he was physically superior but because he found a reason to keep going when everything around him was designed to break him. Your mind will lie to you in a crisis. It will tell you it's too hard. that there's no point, that the situation is hopeless. You have to recognize those thoughts for what they are, not truth, just fear talking. So you build mental resilience before the crisis hits. Set small daily goals when everything feels overwhelming. Hold on to your reason for surviving, your family, your children, your own stubborn refusal to quit. Because when the supplies run low and the situation looks impossible, the only thing standing between you and giving up is the decision to keep moving. That decision is a skill. Train it now before you need it. 8 mistakes, all of them avoidable, none of them requiring a bunker, a fortune, or a military background. Just knowledge, applied before the moment of crisis arrives. Normalcy bias will tell you this doesn't apply to you. Turn that voice off. The people who survive what's coming are not special. They're simply the ones who took the threat seriously while everyone else was scrolling. You now know what kills people in a conflict. Not just bullets, denial, bad supplies, wrong trust, visibility, infected wounds, a broken mind. You know better now, and knowing better means you can do better. So take one step today, just one. Build the kit, learn the route, stock the medicine, talk to your people, because World War III doesn't wait for you to feel ready. And the only weapon that matters before the first shot is fired is the one sitting between your ears. Use it. If this video made you think differently, hit subscribe. There's a lot more coming that you'll want to see.